Okay, who wants to do something good in finance or marketing or operations for that matter, as a senior person, as a mentor, what you will advise them कि अगर आप फ्रेशर और अगर आपको बी स्कूल ज्वाइन करना है, आपने कौन कौन सी चीजों का ध्यान रखना है so that you do very good in the B school?
So first thing is you have to be very updated about the finance terms, or be it basic finance, the general knowledge, what is happening around the world, the basic terms that the banking world goes on with. I think what you have studied in your college, if you are a finance person, in 11th, 12th, I think that is more than enough for you.
Right.
And confidence is the main key to crack the interview, frankly. So these are some of the things that I think can help one person to crack the interview easily.
Okay, perfect. Now I'll move to Sai. Sai, same question to you, brother. As a WorkX person, because I've done my MBA like with a lot of WorkX, so we have that notion or a sort of a perception कि चीजें तो ऐसी ही होती है, चीजें तो प्रैक्टिकल ऐसी होती है, कंसेप्ट तो छोड़ दो, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता कंसेप्ट का. What you would advise to all the WorkX audience out there with 1 year, 2 year, or 3 years of WorkX, how can they make most of their MBA, and what they should do and what they should not do during their MBA?
First thing, as Sejal said, no matter you're fresher or WorkX, your curriculum and all doesn't change. So projects, you'll get along with each other. You'll have fresher, you'll have WorkX people. And it's more like people see you because you have a WorkX of 1 year or 3 years or whatever. You either know some stuff earlier, like let it be Excel or whatever tools you have. So first thing is your work profile. You need to be very strong in that. And no matter what you did, you need to have your basic strength. And based on the industry you come from, it is an advantage that you already have some experience there. So you'll be knowing in and out everything about that. So you can you already follow news regularly because you're working in that profile. Apart from that, the profile you want, like if you are in a different background and you wanted to come into finance, so same thing you continue. अगर आप finance के नहीं हो, फिर भी you can continue with the things you go with finance or CFA पढ़ सकते हो. You can do other things. Apart from that, because you have WorkX, the tools I said, एक Excel है, Tableau, Power BI, these things you already used in WorkX. So freshers के आपको ये advantage होती है, and Excel is something which everyone looks up. And other than that, अगर आप programming देखना चाहते हो तो you have SQL, you have Python. These things are basic stuff which people expect from WorkX. Or apart from that, जब काम करते हो B school, how you tackle B schools, people see you like because you are in the industry already, so you know how to behave, how to talk with people, and it's more like how you understand the scenario. क्योंकि one scenario, freshers seeing a scenario and WorkX seeing a scenario थोड़ा अलग होता है, क्योंकि industry का उनको थोड़ा पता है कि how the superiors take it. So that edge you will definitely have, and you need to keep it with you.
Okay, perfect. Again, one more question. Do WorkX guys study hard during MBA?
It's actually hard to concentrate at the start because both gap aate hain, and once you have a gap and you take your books again, it is very hard to go again get your concentration together. But after 1-2 months, it's more like there is a competition between freshers and WorkX, and even competition between the existing WorkX guys, who is better than others. क्योंकि देखते हैं कि हमें इंडस्ट्री का पता है, ठीक है, but how are we good at studies as well? क्योंकि there are two things. You might be gold medalist in scholar thing, you might be gold medalist in studies, but coming to WorkX, no one can beat the other person. So the two things are completely different, and you should never mix up these two.
See, I'll tell you, like during my MBA, so I have seen this, right? As a fresher, they'll study everything like line by line until the last minute of the exam. Even they're entering, they'll be like reading, and WorkX is like chilly, or like, dude, ये तो practical है, ये तो हम लिख देंगे. So that's the funny part, I would say. I think Sejal can agree with me. But again, going back to Sai, one piece of advice as a mentor or maybe brother, if you have to give it to fresher, what that one advice coming from a WorkX guy for freshers if they want to do good during MBA? What would be that advice?
One thing is try to get inspiration from what you studied and start reading books that actually help, because WorkX guys come from the field, so they know the existing world, how it actually goes. But we reading in books won't be enough. You need to follow magazines. You need to read through articles so that you can cope up with them and understand that what exactly the outside world is. And the other one is attend as many guest lectures as possible, because those things you will get directly the industry insights from the experts. So these two things will actually help you and keep you on par with the work experience.
And one thing from my side is that freshers take GPA very high because it's a percentile game, no? Every fresher you will see on 4, they're like 3.8, 3.9, and working guys are like between like 2.5 and 3 and 3.2. So again, it's just a fun part from the MBA perspective. Cool. Now we'll move to the other segment, where we would like to understand. Sejal, coming back to you, you were in the admissions committee, and if I have to ask you one question, that how one should prepare for IFMR interview process so that there is a good chance that that person, he or she, cracks the interview. What you would advise?
See, I think I have seen a lot of people ask about this thing, and it's not very difficult, I would say, but one thing that you have to keep in mind is confidence.
Okay.
It can actually help you go a long way. Then you need to have basic knowledge about the things that you want to do in the college. See, I am from a finance background, so obviously the interviewer would want me to know about the basic things of this field. If I want to go for marketing, the interviewer would want to know about the same field, whether that person has the basic knowledge or not to go ahead in this MBA field for 2 years, for the next 2 years, and is that person ready or not? So they see your mindset, if you are actually ready for this thing or not. So the basic knowledge, being updated about what is happening in the world, banking sector, whatever happens. See, I'm from finance, so I cannot talk much about marketing, but I think the people who are interested in this field can understand what they need to know. So I think this is the major thing that you need to go ahead with while giving your interviews.
Along with the HR question, why shall we select you, and tell me about yourself?
Yes, that too, you have to prepare very specifically according to what you've done in the past. Otherwise, people can actually catch you if you are trying to lie to them.
Exactly.
So the truth is one thing that you can say very honestly to other people, and they'll actually recognize if you are lying or you are telling the truth. So that is one thing that you should never do. You should never lie.
Perfect. And try to give some answers which are not really monotonous. Try to talk a lot about yourself, your journey, your experience, because we know it's written in the form, everything. But I think as a panelist, वो connect कहीं ना कहीं miss हो जाता है. बच्चा आके खुद के बारे में इतना नहीं बोलता है. उसको लगता है कि interview में professionally बात करता है. And I think that's where the problem comes into picture, that people are not able to express themselves very well. So perfect. One more question for you, Sejal. I wanted to kind of give us an idea about the peer group at IFMR. Like how was your experience for the last 2 years?
So actually, when I got to know about IFMR, and it was a college in the south part of the country, so I was a bit reluctant ki what type of friends or peers I would have. And so I started looking, checking on the website and everywhere. So the diversity part that I found was very, very good. Like people from 20 to 22 states were actually coming to the college to attend their journey for the MBA. So it was also very similar, and it didn't feel very awkward, coming entirely to something new. And then when I joined the college, it was a very smooth journey for me, because every one of my peers were very supportive, very caring, helpful, friendly, all the things that you can ask for.
You were an operations guy. What sort of certifications, what sort of extracurricular, or what sort of projects, internships, like what you would suggest to kids out there? Because now they're getting into the B school. There are 2 months ka honeymoon period they have. I'm very sure by the end of June, every B school will be up and running, and then they'll get into the B school and they'll start their life eventually, right? तो क्या चीजें चाहिए एक बच्चे के resume पे as a part of profile which will help him or which will help her eventually to do very well in summers and finals?
Coming for a yeah, so if it is for a fresher, you have a lot of things to do because right from basic, if you talk about certifications, Excel basic to advanced, you have Tableau, which is actually there, and whether it be finance or operations or whatever your profile is, Tableau dashboard making is one thing where even the big four companies or everyone is looking for it. And you can have basic idea of R and Python. Apart from that, SQL is there. Now these are the certifications. And other than certifications, like you need to follow magazines, you can read regularly magazines, you need to follow people on LinkedIn. And one thing for B-School is networking. And LinkedIn is one place where you can reach even the CEO of any company through LinkedIn. That is only one place you can directly interact with them. So don't miss out. And your alumni base, keep talking about your alumni. And no matter what their background is, try connecting with them because that helps you understand the other side as well. Like if you're a finance guy, you're connecting with a marketing person, you understand how your budget is planned and how it is actually being utilized by the marketing people, how the sales are actually going. So that is actually very important because how you plan and how you execute is also new. So that thing is there. Try connecting as many people as possible and keep making friends.
Perfect. Sejal, back to you.
So see, if you are talking about before the MBA wala journey, so basic knowledge about everything is important. If you have done an internship, that can add value to your resume. If not, then after MBA, you need to focus on things like certifications में जैसे as Sai mentioned, Tableau हो गया, SQL हो गया. Other than that, if you are a finance person, so you can go for things like equity research, जो भी niche fields होती हैं, I would say.
Something like that. Certification in finance.
Exactly. तो somewhere you would realize कि तुम्हारा interest कहाँ पर है. तो maybe उस interest के हिसाब से you can go for certain certifications. जैसे equity research हो गया, financial modeling हो गया, financial analyst course हो गया, mergers and acquisition, ऐसे kind of courses that can add value to your resume. उसके बाद आता है SIP वाला time. So you have to choose the roles very carefully. क्योंकि marketing है तो marketing type के roles you should focus on. Finance है तो finance के roles. So ऐसे these things can always add value to your resume. So keep updating your resume as per the things that you keep doing. तो वो बहुत help करता है somewhere.
Okay.
आगे जाने.
All right. Perfect. That answers everything.